Hello everyone and welcome to my corner of the world. Today's card is a very simple, straightforward one, and I am just using literally ink, paper and stamps, and I've created this thank you card with a sort of a silhouette technique in the middle. Now, the stamp sets I've chosen to use, and yes, I did say stamp sets. I know it's unusual for me to use more than one, but I wanted to share with you this watercolor shapes stamp set. And it's, as it says, it's got lots of different shapes. You can see rectangles, squares, circles and ovals, but it has a watercolor effect, which basically means that it's not like solid. It has variations within the stamp itself. And if I show you my sample again, you can see that there's sort of a darker and a lighter piece in the middle. And then my other stamp set is botanical layers, lovely leaves and super duper greetings in a lovely font. Those of you who know me know that I do like my fancy fonts. So as I say, I'm putting those two together, and here are my supplies: my envelope, my card base, a layer, and then the layer I'm going to actually be stamping on. So we're going to make a start, and I'm going to start by putting down the circle, and I'm using mint macaron. And if you remember, if you've seen me before, I always leave a little lip here rather than close my stamp pad up completely, because it means then that when I come to close it, I've got a little handle and I'm less likely to stick my finger in the ink. So we're gonna place some ink on the stamp, and you can see I'm tapping quite gently. And I have just got ink on my stamp. If I had any ink on my block, it would mean that I am pressing too hard, and that would not give me a good result. So I'm just going to place my stamp down, and I'm pressing firmly, and you should have been able to see the actual ink transfer from the stamp onto the paper. So now I'm just giving it a good press there. I'm not rocking it, I'm not twisting it, and there we have our circle. And you can see that there are variations in the color, and that's exactly how I want it to be. The next thing I'm going to put down is my greeting, and I'm using early espresso. You could use black, but it did look a little bit harsh. I think the early espresso does give us a bit of a softer view, and I've chosen to use the thank you for everything stamp here. And I'm just gonna sort of line up and just, because I don't want to get my head in the screen, I'm actually going to stamp this at an angle. There we go. My sample I did stamp sort of level, but as I say, I didn't want to get my head in the screen here. Then I've got this lovely stamp. It's really quite gorgeous. It's got lots of sort of little leaves. It's really dainty. And we're just going to load that up again with some early espresso ink. Again, I'm not pressing too hard. And then I'm going to line it up so that some of it goes on my circle and some goes on the unstamped bit. And I'm really pleased with that as well. While I've got this out, I'm going to just decorate a little bit inside my card. I always like to put a little thing, something in there. And of course, my envelope. And there, got my little lip I can pull out. So now we've done that, it's really just a case of assembly. So I'm going to use my liquid adhesive. You can use Stampin' Seal. I'm just going to center that up. And then I'm going to flip it over and just put some dimensionals on the back. So I'm using my edges because they are just as sticky as the bits in the middle. I think that's a dead one now. And then my final thing is to just pop it on my thick vanilla card base. Now, if you have got some embellishment, maybe some pearls or something like that that you would like to add at this point, you could do that. It would look just as lovely, but I just wanted to make sure that we did something using the minimum of supplies. Well, I do hope that you have enjoyed this video. I've shared some stamping techniques with you and gone over a few of the basics. I think sometimes we tend to forget the basics because we get so excited with everything else that we do. But I do hope that you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please go ahead, give me a thumbs up. If you don't already subscribe to my channel, I'd love it if you would. And if you have any comments to make, I'd love to read them. Well, thank you for joining me today. Bye for now.